61 degrees in Griffin, Georgia. It's a pleasant Sunday afternoon. Look at that bluebird sitting up there. He can spot the worms down here on the ground and swoop down and get them. I watch him from the 4th of July. Spit out that piece of candy. Can't talk with candy in my mouth. The Christmas season is coming on quick. I'm going out to pick up my trail camera and just bring it in for a while, not use it anymore. Do one final check on whatever is on the disc. But I see I got a couple of tree limbs needs to go back that way. And since I'm going that direction anyway, let's take a handful of limbs. I thought I'd talk a little bit about what it feels like to be poor. I have a fairly well-to-do life now. But it wasn't always that way. Damn, what have I stepped into here? More limbs out here than I thought there was. Well, that's enough for now. Grab this limb. I remember what it feels like to be poor. Funny how it affects a young child to a great extent that an adult might not consider. You know you're poor, and when you don't have anything, you ain't got enough food on the table to eat. You're lucky when you get some hand-me-down clothes. You see, Christmas is come and go where the kids in the neighborhood get all their little toys and gifts and nice Christmas presents, and you see Christmas is come and go where you didn't get a single damn thing. Boy, that hurts a kid's feelings worse than anything in the world. I recall some of the good people of the community coming around this poor sawmill community we lived in, handing out Christmas donations for people that needed it, us being one of them. Families that did need it. Why we were so poor was because my parents were divorced. And I think at that time, you can't quote me on this, but I seem to recall that she collected $50 a month. She was raising me and my 2 brothers. I'm sure she probably had some modest little rent to pay on that shotgun house we lived in. But I've seen these Christmas people come and go, and I remember them giving us like a little basket with some fruit in it. It had some oranges and apples, maybe a couple candy canes or something. I don't remember what all was in it. It wasn't much, but it was graciously received. But it affects a kid's mind in a way that you wouldn't think it would. It sure leads you not to believe in Santa Claus real quick. So at an early age, earlier than normal age, I ceased to believe in Santa Claus. I recall many a day when we didn't even have food on the table. We always had a good time going out and playing and finding things to do to keep ourselves busy in the neighborhood. I recall one of my favorite things to do was to take an old Irish potato, throw it in the wood stove. Didn't have no luxury of something such as a aluminum foil. You just threw that whole tater in them hot coals. Go back in 30, 40 minutes and dig it out with a stick. It'd be all burnt and black on the outside edges. You can scrape all that burn off of it. But I tell you what, there ain't nothing to taste better than the inside of a baked in the coals potato for a kid that's hungry. Used to get my feelings hurt real easy. Probably affected me for my whole life. I recall going down to my grandmother's house and my cousins were all there. I was about, I'm going to say 8. I was about 8. I don't know, it could have been 7. But it was Christmas, and the cousins were down from another part of Georgia where they live. Everybody came to see Grandma and Granddad. We lived in the same neighborhood as them. Granddad, being a sawmill man, worked at the Shepherd Lumber Company, and we kind of lived in the same neighborhood because of it. We weren't directly connected to the sawmill, but he had connections enough to get us in that place to stay. Anyway, the house my grandfather lived in was a bigger, nicer house. It probably was like the foreman's house for the sawmill. It had a lot more rooms to it. It was like a double shotgun house. And they had gathered up a Christmas tree and decorated it. They also had a holly tree. It was a habit of my grandmother to decorate a holly tree and a Christmas tree. I don't remember why. My older cousin, he's probably a year older than me, his name is Wayne. He still lives down in Florida. Not real sure why my camera quit. Anyway, it was Christmas. We were spending it at my grandmother's house. And my older cousin Wayne, lost my train of thought when that camera quit. He stayed up with the adults. We were sent to bed. And I heard they waited a while waiting for us to go to sleep. And we're trying like hate to go to sleep, knowing why Santa Claus might be going to come. Maybe we'll get a present or two. Well, I heard Uncle Ben say, Wayne, go in there and see if them youngins is asleep. And there was several other younger cousins there. So I closed my eyes like I was asleep. He came in, looked at everybody, he got right up in my face, looking to see if I was asleep. And I'm sitting there just cool as a cucumber. I'm gonna fool him, I'm asleep. Finally, he went back out to the living room and said, yeah, they're all asleep. Well, they commenced putting out goodies and stuff under the Christmas tree and getting things ready. And I get up and sneak over to the doorway where I can see out in the hallway. Sure enough, they got all kinds of little goodies and bicycles and gloves and baseball bats and things laying out there for most of the cousins. Well, my mother didn't have any money to buy us anything for Christmas. I didn't know it at the time. And somehow she managed to scrape up enough to get us some firecrackers or something. We had a box of firecrackers to play with. And one of I guess it was my uncle or somebody, gave us a cap gun. A little cap gun, it had a holster and everything. It was a nice little toy. In the normal circumstances, I would have greatly appreciated that little toy, but I didn't. I didn't appreciate it one little bit. I felt left out as I watched all the other kids opening their presents and getting all kind of neat things. I just felt like I was somebody's poor stepchild. And it hurt my feelings greatly. Told my brother, let's go out and play. He got the same thing I did, firecrackers and a cap gun. As soon as we got out there away from the house, I took that gun. It was probably about that long, made out of some sturdy plastic. Took the biggest firecracker I could find, poked it up in the end of the barrel, and held it out like that, stuck a match to it, and set that firecracker off and blowed that gun all to heck. All I had left in my hand was the handle, the grip. I throwed it out in the woods as far as I could go. We spent the afternoon lighting off our firecrackers and throwing them every which way. But I never forgot that feeling of being a poor stepchild that was unworthy of having a decent Christmas. And all through the years, I've done my best to give my kids the best Christmas I could provide them. We don't have a whole lot to want for now. But back then we sure did, and I never lost that feeling or forgot what it feels like to be poor. So when you think about donating something for somebody for Christmas, think about how some poor child would really appreciate it. Think about all the children out there that don't get a decent Christmas and how they must feel. I don't know how I got off on that feeling sorry for myself stuff, but I thought I'd talk about it a little bit today. It is a really nice day. This 73-year-old man ain't made a vlog in a week or two, but I got one made today. If there's anything on my camera worthy of showing, I'll add it to the end of the video. I'm not going to carry on a lot, but I do wish all my friends and viewers a happy holiday season, and I hope you all have a great Christmas. First, we got to get through the Thanksgiving. We've been preparing for that. Wife's got a couple of turkey breasts down there we could cook, or I don't know, she might cook a whole turkey. It'd just be me and her. Kids have all got their thing to do. Anyway, we're going to sit here in this chair and admire this warm weather. Here's Pwalpar wishing everybody a good day. Thanks for listening to me.